プロスタックバトル
BlazBlue, Persona 4, Undernight Inbirth, and RWBY, 4 worlds that wonderfully come together for a fast, flashy, and endearing 2D tag fighter. BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle emerges as an accessible fighting game that breaks from the series' tradition by simplifying its gameplay systems. But by no means does this make it shallow. The dynamic tag system and the clever ways you can mix the game's unique mechanics are where Cross Tag shines. Here, Arc System Works unifies all franchises as a 5-button fighter with 2 main attack buttons, a universal overhead attack that can also function as an EX attack, a tag button, and a partner skill. While it may seem a bit too straightforward, even the most historically complex characters on the roster remain true to form where it counts. By distilling classic fighting game mechanics, the focus is shifted from elaborate directional inputs to creating openings for that sweet high damage combo, especially once you factor in tag assists and meter management. You'll recognize familiar moves with similar properties from their respective games, but the conditions for execution have changed. Basic attacks, smart combos, and even supers called distortion skills are easy to pull off. Though the number of techniques mapped to the limited controls can cause mistakes, particularly throws and distortion skills. Auto forward dash on most characters may seem jarring to fighting game veterans, but it doesn't take that much effort to adjust to this game's quirks and its pace. Partner skills in particular will take time to grasp. Every character has 3 unique assist attacks where they fly in from off screen to lend a hand. Cross combos take the tag system one step further by letting your duo pile on damage simultaneously. These are the keys to executing great combos, creating openings, or pulling yourself out of a rut. With this in mind, you're either encouraged to experiment using different duos, or form your own collaborative attacks with the pair that you love most. It's chaotic and sometimes tough to nail down in live matches, and it's where the depth of the combat comes from. Your effectiveness also revolves around meter management. The skill gauge is used for distortion skills, laying down EX moves, or saving up for back-to-back supers with your tag partner. The cross gauge paves the way for cross combos and tag counters. And when you're down a fighter, the Resonance Blaze kicks you into overdrive by regenerating health, adding chip damage, filling the skill gauge, and strengthening your distortion skills. Cross Tag Battle has a lot to absorb, and it'll take time to get comfortable with the fighting system and unravel all of its intricacies. Thankfully, the onboarding process is top-notch. Tactics mode walks you through the basic terminology, mechanics, and their use cases, and each character has a tailor-made tutorial that gives you the opportunity to perfect specific combos. And there's a slew of missions in Tactics mode that pit you in difficult situations you'll encounter in live matches. All the pieces of a fast, smooth, and endlessly fun fighting game exist within Cross Tag, but it truly shines by channeling and fusing the personality and charisma of each franchise. Whether it's the stylish super moves, battle cries, or fluid animations, this large cast is bursting with charm. Mixing up teams brings about collaborations I've always wanted to see happen. Sure, Ragna, Hyde, and Narukami may play like the standard sword-wielding boys from their respective worlds, but having either of them work together makes for a badass team. When I'm hopping from Undernight's Riverside stage one fight to BlazBlue's Cathedral the next, using my favorite duo of Chie and RWBY, while listening to Hyde's battle theme, Cross Tag Battle evokes and amplifies the fondness I have for this roster. And as a die-hard Persona fan, having the investigation team reunited at Yasugami High for a hectic brawl while bumping the arena mix to reach out to the truth warms my heart. Especially smaller moments like the unique chatter and interactions between 2 characters before fights commence makes this feel like more than a rehash of multiple assets or a collection of characters thrown together.
Later, just get away.
The crossing of worlds primarily plays out in the episode mode. The 4 factions of fighters are forced to battle in a fake realm by a mysterious omnipresent AI that creates arbitrary rules.
Hey, are you guys contestants too? Huh?
Oh, hey. Yeah, we are. You too?
Yep. I'm Ruby Rose.
I'm, Yosuke Hanamura.
Yukiko and Magi, pleased to meet you.
Huh. Yosuke and Yukiko. Nice to meet you.
The overarching plot sounds ridiculous, and it's borderline nonsensical. Each of the 4 campaigns play out as a visual novel, with static character portraits and fully voiced dialogue. Actual fights are embedded within each chapter to keep you as an active participant. Some character appearances feel shoehorned for the sake of making an appearance, but despite its absurdity, moments of cross-franchise fan service stick the landing. RWBY's obsession with fancy weapons permeates her encounters with the likes of Ragna and Hyde. References to Chie's obsession with steak, and Yukiko's inability to make curry call back to when I got to know them in Persona 4. Even Noelle gets caught up in the mix, as she's completely oblivious to how bad it'll taste. And as each episode concludes, I was rewarded with heartfelt scenes that reminded me of why I love these characters.
It's a girl! And she's got a huge scythe! And she's actually really cool.
This isn't the time to admire her! She's attacking us!
Story mode also highlights something odd. DLC characters take part in the story as opponents despite not being available in the playable base roster. Their movesets, character models, theme songs, and voice lines are in the game, but they're gated as add-on content. Half of RWBY's cast is offered for free, but to see several Persona, BlazBlue, and Under Night folks so obviously withheld feels unfair.
Pardon me.
Taking the fight online is where you'll spend most of your time though. Crosstag's online component consists of multiple lobbies for different skill levels where players walk around as chibi versions of their favorite character. Customizing your player card with character portraits and familiar catchphrases is another avenue to express your love. It's cute and lighthearted, magnified by the adorable batch of emotes that often take the edge off exhilarating fights. And thankfully, jumping into matches works seamlessly. After hundreds of rounds online both in the casual lobby and in ranked matchmaking, we can say that the netcode is solid, and latency is a non-issue with a decent connection. Players that want a more competitive environment should be happy to know that we had little trouble finding a fair fight in ranked matchmaking. In both victory and defeat, memorable moments abound. Although it can be frustrating, I'm always taking note of how high-level players are getting the better of me. I'll also never forget making a comeback from being down a teammate, activating Resonance Blaze, and perfectly timing both Chie's Power Charge and God Hand while my opponent was in mid-tag to take them both out in one hit. Whether practicing in single player or competing against tough opponents online, Crosstag Battle is an absolute joy with a surplus of possibilities within its diverse roster and versatile fighting system. Even with all the ridiculousness of the overarching plot, I reveled in the charm of my favorite characters and embraced the many moments of fan service. It's a masterful unification of styles and mechanics from 4 different universes that compels you to dig deeper and dedicate the time to getting the most out of the beloved members of this cast.